Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Shuffle Bus with more of our Season 1 tournament. This time, our Round 5 matchup with Neil, and he is playing Taj. And joining me, as always, is Mr. Neil. Hi, Neil. How are you again today?
Good. I like watching myself.
Yeah. You don't like hearing yourself because you got to listen to me edit some video today for the first time, and you're like, God, that's what I sound like.
Yeah.
So
anyone that has to listen to me, I apologize. It's very grating.
So, all right. So we've got Xander here. Your Xander Allies deck, your 2 health Allies deck against Taj with his Maeoni deck. You've got the standard 5 Sympathy, 4 Divine, and 1 Charm. Taj is playing a 3 Divine, 4 Natural, and 3 Charm deck. This is a Maeoni Snakes deck, which we have just recently seen a version of Maeoni Snakes win the AIL.
There were a lot of Maeonis in our tournament.
Correct. There ended up being 3 in total. Yep, three total Maeoni decks in the total of 21 registered lists, 22 registered lists technically. And I think you're bound to run into these at some point with the way they're sort of shaping up in the meta right now. All right, so we're going to get this party started. Let's talk about your first 5 here while we're starting to see the roll-offs happen.
Yep. The 4 cards in my first 5 are always the same.
So you roll 4 basics. I can't tell what Taj rolled out here.
Yeah, I don't think he was using the dice roller, but that's okay.
I think he's got less basics than you, though.
4 is a lot. But, so, my first 5 always contains the same 4.
Right.
Lion Book, Owl Book, Augury.
So this time you just
River Skald.
Yeah, this time you just go ahead and put the Flash Archer as your 5th one, probably directly aimed at trying to shoot down the snake, right?
Right. So I did that because Taj's deck is a little interesting. He doesn't have Golden Veils in his pile.
Okay.
In fact, he has 2 Law of Sight to turn off reactions.
Okay.
So you see me there just start off with the book, meditate, open, that I always do.
And I think that's a really good starting point. Owl's pretty good against snake. I'm sure this is the snake book. We're not going to be able to hover over it because we're in post here, not live. But the
I think that was a Gilder since he paid the.
Oh, he paid a charm for it. Yeah, so that's true. It is a Gilder book. Okay.
Yeah. So I flip I just make an owl.
Does Taj have anything that can threaten the owl?
No.
Okay.
I mean, he's got Meteor, but
you wouldn't want a Meteor.
He's not going to Meteor right now. I would be okay him doing that. He has his interaction spells are 3 Nature's Wrath, 3 Meteor.
Okay.
Otherwise, his deck is very proactive.
So he's on the plan of pinging the owl. Is he playing Root Armor for his own?
He has
snake?
1 Root Armor.
Okay, so he's kind of thinking.
I believe that's what he discards to the
owl. But he is running Polarity Mage, right? So he can bring back the Root Armor.
Yeah, he has 3 Polarity Mage.
Yep. So you're just going to Augury into immediate side action, pull your 3-cost ally.
Since he didn't make a unit, and I looked at his list and there was nothing that essentially could kill the owl, I was just waiting for him to shrink his options.
Right.
Because when I looked at his list, I put him on Snake, Gilder, Frostback Bear, and Owl Book, and I wasn't sure if the Root Armor was going to be what he picked as his 5th.
Sure.
And I don't remember if he had the Owl Book at all, honestly.
I think this is, he plays the 1 dice for the Frostback Bear.
Yeah.
So you weren't going to hit Frostback Bear anyways with this, so you're just going to hit the Root Armor, which means he's not going to be able to Root Armor the snake right away.
Right. I'm very happy about hitting the Root Armor.
Absolutely. So that leaves the last card in hand is most likely an Owl Book, or it's potentially the Open Memories for Owl Book, but it does look like it's just Owl Book. So he's got the whole battlefield squad now to start summoning.
Right. And Owl is okay against me. It's not super great because my deck tends to have a bunch of extra cards in hand most of the time.
Right. So he meditates away, loses a Meteor. He's going to roll up a nature die. That's so he can make the snake, not knowing that he's facing a River Skald Flash Archer round 1.
Right. The Flash Archer is the one in my deck. I cannot play it. It's there simply for Skald, and it interacts very well with Xander ability if
Absolutely.
you draw additional Scalds.
Yeah, you can recur it back with Xander before you play Skald. Which actually works really well if the bear ever gets root armored, kind of. I mean, the bear is still one away, but...
Yeah, I mean, with the root armor in the bin, I'm not real worried about it. Like, he's going to make an owl here,
Yep.
which is okay. I mean...
I think you can just
after-
make Winged Lioness, or do you...
I don't remember. I am not going to Scald that owl. I
Yeah.
think I'm on the plan of discard Swordsman to owl.
Okay. So then this is just the Winged Lioness then, because that's definitely the plan then, is just to let the owl hit your Swordsman.
Right.
You can easily recur it in this current condition, but you're not going to be able to play it, so yeah.
Yep, so there's the memory drain, or I discard the...
And I'm sure if you're Taj, like you see your opponent pitch a Sonic Swordsman, you probably feel pretty good about it. But you also have to be a little concerned that, well, does he just have another Swordsman in hand, right?
Right.
Because he saw you Augury for one, so...
At this juncture, like, I'm not very scared of Gilder. Like, I'm just waiting... Like, I'm not going to play Skald until he makes a snake.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Because his command strike kind of sucks right now.
Well, his command strike is nothing. I mean, even if he plays Gilder, his command strike is nothing.
Right, he has to make a bear for his command strike to be good. I think I attack the owl here.
Yeah, I think that's fine, because even then if he makes a bear and command strikes you, like, you got value from your owl, or from your Winged Lioness, so...
Right, it's not... Like, I'm definitely okay essentially trading Winged Lioness for owl.
Sure.
And if he doesn't make a bear... I mean, at this juncture, if he makes a bear, what it looks like to me, since he has no cards in hand, is bear will get blocked by Xander, and I'll get to keep my board.
Right.
And
Here's going to be the bear, for sure. This is definitely the bear play. I think that obviously Taj's deck has lots of powerful cards. Sequencing can really matter here.
Yeah, the memory drain from my owl got him really good.
Right.
Because I know that there's no way Snake survives.
Correct. So you're just going to River Skald. Are you going to shoot the bear?
I guess I'm just going to shoot the bear.
Well,
why did I do this? I don't remember.
Okay. I mean, I don't hate that. Just like you don't have now a good play for Flash Archer.
I think that I did this because I know that the snake is a 0/4.
Okay.
Like,
well, one of the things you can do here is, because I think you got a Light Swordsman in your bin, so you could use Xander ability, bring back Light Swordsman,
and
pass.
I think that's what happens actually. Now that I remember, because this game wasn't yesterday, so I apologize for misremembering my plays, but
so here comes the snake.
Because the snake is a 0/4. This play pattern, I get to kill the snake and kill the bear. So,
yeah, he could have guarded with Maeoni if he was worried about it.
Right, but I believe that...
There's the Light Swordsman return, yep.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly how this turns out, but...
Because I think if he ends up playing Gilder here, like he probably gets you pretty good in terms of protecting the snake still.
Right, but again, the snake, like, is gonna be 0 power.
Yeah.
I don't know. That I kind of think I misplayed there, but I'm not sure.
Well, you didn't have a lot of options left for main actions, right? Like you were pretty out of main actions here in general. So he's going to make the Gilder, shoot the Winged Lioness. Makes sense. If he doesn't have any plan for how to proactively kill the River Skald, then you just put damage on the Lioness. But I think that's also a mistake, because the Lioness has Recover 1. It's commonly missed that Lioness has Recover 1.
Right, but so does Skald.
Right, so I think then that you're better off putting the 1 damage on the Owl.
So I make a thing, I attack the snake.
He blocks it.
He blocks with the Gilder, which is okay.
Puts 1 counter on
the snake.
On the snake. He still got Maeoni's command strike up, but he put an exhaustion counter. That's not correct.
Yeah.
So he's still got the opportunity to command strike with Maeoni on the snake and then do 1 damage to you. But
I also get to consider that in round 2, I have the
Flash Archer still.
I have Augury for Earthquake.
Okay.
So like I have a million ways to kill this snake, and knowing that he doesn't have Golden Veils in his deck, like maybe I should have killed the snake and left the bear, but as it turns out, this is where we're at.
Yeah. So he attacked you for 2, it looks like, and then pass. So the snake is going to heal up.
Right. I think he tried to attack one of my guys, but I just Xander blocked it.
Right.
We didn't go through the motions because it was the last action of the round.
Right.
But I think that's what happened.
Yeah, now you just got River Skald Flash Archer, so I don't even think you've like hard pressed and rolled no basics. That's not terrible for
that's a pretty good roll.
Around 2. Taj flips up. It looks like maybe 1 basic, 2 basics. Yeah, 3 basics with the natural there. Hard to sort of see.
Right, and so one thing he could get me with here, kind of, is if he has the massive growth. Mm-hmm. Which is a reason that I should have killed Snake last turn. Though the bear also, like I would have to leave him play with a bear or a snake. So
one thing about massive growth though is, so he's going to get the root armor back here. One thing about the massive growth is that even if he massive growths the snake and attacks you for 6 this turn, like it's not lethal. And so because it's not lethal, like River Skald into massive growth snake is a thing, and you would be able to Skald Flash Archer and up until this point kill the snake. Now you're a little bit behind the curve in that respect.
Right. So him doing the Polarity Mage for root armor forces me to fire off the 4 damage, 3 damage in this case because of the root armor. Mm-hmm.
But he does have to be a little concerned about, like you've just got a 2/2 stock unit, so now like
2/2 stock doesn't kill it.
It doesn't. That's true. You're going to need a 3 attack now.
But so here's the Augury, but the Earthquake does kill it.
Right. Yeah, Earthquake will finish it.
I'm hovering over River Skald.
I think that's a good, because you could actually recur your...
right, Xander back Flash Archer, River Skald.
Right. And then you've definitely killed it without the Earthquake.
Right, and Earthquake against him, like, I don't need the 1 damage across, like like it'll kill the Polarity Mage, but I just don't care about that. I'd rather not, like, essentially Nature's Wrath myself.
Sure.
When I'm just worried about one of his guys. So River Skald is, very similar to Earthquake when it's just talking about dealing with the snake.
Right. And you still got the opportunity to still play, because you've got room on your battlefield for 6 units, I think, with Xander. So
yep.
You still got room for 2 more units to be played here without any sweeps. I think, obviously, you don't want to play another Owl, would be my guess. But he's going to make an Owl here, it looks like. Yep. And I think that really doesn't matter at this juncture.
At this point, Owl is just not very good against me.
Right.
Because both the Augury and the Xander ability draw me extra cards on the round.
And Skald does as well.
Yeah, if I choose to play it in that mode.
Mm-hmm.
The memory drain is not very impactful.
So we see a Meditate going up on the Divine Die.
Right, so this indicates Meteor.
Mm-hmm. Because he's trying to do 2, keep his snake alive.
Right, because it Meteor for 2 doesn't damage the snake and wipes my board.
Right. I'd be curious. So I think at that point you still have time to Skald Flash Archer. This feels like it might be a small mistake, but maybe it doesn't matter if he meteors.
Right. The Meteor is as bad for me whether I Skald Flash Archer before or after the Meteor.
Sure.
And I would rather do it after the meteor because then I get to keep the one that.
Right. I was just thinking at that point, to earthquake would make sure that it sort of devalues the meditation from the meteor. But you just bring back the flash archer. You're threatening that so that if he plays another snake, you can just smack the snake down.
Right. I mean, I'm still worried about this snake because of the root armor.
Right.
So we'll see. I don't remember exactly how this turn plays out, but I'm thinking about the meteor.
Well, the good news is if he meteors you now, then the snake is sitting at 4, and then the winged lioness does kill it.
Well, the winged lioness will be dead. I mean,
but you got a book to play.
Lioness,
Your next winged lioness can do it.
But it won't though, because meteor does 1 and then 1, so it won't take any damage from meteor if he does it for 2. If he does it for 3, then it'll take a damage.
That's true. That's true. So he's going to Maeoni Command Strike the owl.
Yep. Which I'm like at this point, if I get to owl him, that's great. If it eats a command strike, that's great.
Yeah, I think that's really trading favorably if you get Command Strike for owl.
Yeah, it made his snake a little bigger. Like, it gets the owl off the board. It's not awful for him, but I feel pretty good about it.
I think the issue is if he had meteor, he should have just meteored there because.
Right. As time moves forward, I'm less and less convinced he has the meteor.
Right.
Because he has. Let's see what costs divine power.
There's the snake attack. So this feels like a little premature on the snake attack.
Yeah, I just take it.
Yeah. Xander just tanks the attack.
And now I'm like really sure he doesn't have meteor.
Right, because otherwise he would have waited to get that snake up a whole nother 3 points here.
Right, you definitely would meteor before
you attack and exhaust snake.
To make it ginormous.
So just make another owl at this point. It seems like a good punt.
Right, now I'm just making plays that are safe. I know that the snake is dead to my hand.
Mm-hmm.
Because each 2/2 does 1 to it. I have to do 2 to it. I have 2 2/2s in play and 2 2/2s in my hand.
Right.
Actually, 3 2/2s in my hand. So
there's the meteor.
So I think that this was kind of backwards for him, right?
I agree.
Like what we just talked about. So, I think he's very afraid of. He's played this entire game like he's really afraid of Three-Eyed Owl.
Yeah.
And that's fine. Like Three-Eyed Owl's good, and this meteor was very good for him.
Sure.
I think it would have been better prior to the snake attack.
Absolutely. I think he's
because
mostly.
I didn't end up committing anything additional to the board.
Right. So he ends
besides the owl.
He ends up at 7 on snake counters.
Yeah, his snake is infinite now.
Yeah.
Like we're past the point of caring how many counters are on it. It's big.
Right. Well, I think at this point you definitely just walk a Skald into Flash Archer to kill it.
Right. I don't have to do it right now.
No.
Just before the end of the round.
Right. Absolutely. So you make a Winged Lioness, and this is another sort of safe, let me punt kind of thing. See what you do. What are your last 3 cards in hand with 3 dice remaining?
Right. At this point, I've decided that my plays are going to be River Skald and both Swordsman.
Sure.
Light Swordsman. Because you see me meditate up there.
Right, to get there. Yeah. Absolutely. I think that's...
Because at this juncture, I know that my attacks kill the snake.
Right.
So I can, when he makes a bear, I can...
Spends 2 dice for the bear. That's what this is.
I can Skald it.
Yep. Yep, there's the bear.
So even though I started this game with the Flash Archer, assuming I was going to be throwing Skald at the snake all the time, I just kill all his bears with them.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think you have to kill the snake here, right?
Right, but specifically, it's more efficient for me to kill the snake with attacks and the bear with Skald, because if I attack bear with guys, it can counter, the snake cannot.
Correct.
And I'm looking at the meteor, or not the meteor, the earthquake, but Earthquake is not good in either mode of
Not-
targeting bear or
not right now,
targeting
yeah.
snake. So, yeah, there's me. I'm just like, yeah, this is what this does. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, I think the stock on Lioness is relevant here.
So there's the Skald, which I point at the bear because I don't want the bear to attack me.
Right. Yeah, so just going to use Flash Archer on the bear. Which is totally fine.
Right. I just wanted... It's the only card that in my hand that I can discard the Skald that kills bear, so... that's what I do. Did I even draw a card, or did I just totally miss the draw?
I don't think you drew.
I'm
I
a
also am
cheater.
going to be curious
I'm
if...
a filthy cheater.
I'm also going to be curious if you end up taking another hit with Xander somehow because you blocked and didn't exhaust him.
He has no units to attack with.
Right. I just don't know what could be in his hand still, but he's going to just play Gilder here. Like if that was the only thing I had seen.
Right, so he fires off the Gilder, which, again, like, this puts a small wrench in my plans of like I no longer have the ability to kill the thing on board because he has the Maeoni guard and the Gilder guard, but
Right.
he doesn't. Looking at my board from his position, you can't think that I'm on 2 units that can attack it for 1.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. And you're on at least 1, and the Gilder can't block the 1. So he's got 2 blocks on board between Maeoni and the Gilder.
But I have 4 attacks.
4 attacks, right.
Yeah.
So it's enough to get there.
So I send Skald at Snake.
He's just going to
He
Gilder
throws a
it.
Gilder in the way, which is what Gilder's for.
Right.
That's fine.
Gives the Snake a counter. Yep.
And he's just passing out to me here. No dice left.
Right. So now you can attack with the Lioness, at least get the 1 point in. He can't stop it because Maeoni can't block it.
Yep.
He tries to.
He tries to, but we talk about it. Gets stalked. Does 1.
Does 1. So now the Snake's within 1.
Yep. And I pass again. Well, not pass. He passes back to me. I play Swordsman, attack Snake.
Yep. And that's going to kill the Snake.
No, he blocks Maeoni.
Yep. That's true.
Then
So he takes 2.
He passes back to me.
Now you play second Swordsman.
Then I play Swordsman and attack Snake, and
that's the end of Snake's day.
the Snake is down. So I ended up committing, a lot of attacks to the Snake, but this is the end of round, so I'm going to untap with a bunch of dudes.
Is he playing 3 meteors?
Yeah, you'll
Okay.
see me attack with, I think, just the Light Swordsman right away.
Yeah.
Because the he also plays 3 Nature's Wrath.
Sure.
So I'm pretty sure that it'll be highly likely that he has
One of those 2. Yep.
And I'm willing to risk the Meteor to keep my 2/2s up.
Sure.
But being that he has 5 cards left in his pile that get my Light Swordsman, I think that my first main action is just smash with them. And I might smash with the team. Let's see.
I think it's best to smash with team here just because the threat of a rolled out meteor, but you can look at your opponent's roll and decide whether that's necessary or not. The reason I say that is because you don't want to leave him back and then he's in a position on his first action to blow up your board, but he doesn't roll into meteors. So I think it's fine at that point to then just commit the Swordsman's only.
Yeah. And you'll see me discard a heal there just to draw an additional card.
Yep. So you roll 1 basic and
a 1,000,000 power.
6 power. That's pretty solid, man.
Yeah.
Angelic Rescue is really solid here against Meteor also.
Right. So drawing the Angelic Rescue also makes leaving the guys back good.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree.
Since I searched for the second one.
Yeah, so since you've got the double power for 2 Angelic Rescues, you can't do it on 2 activations, of course, but...
Right.
And you do send the team here, it looks like, or you leave the Lioness back. Okay, so you attack for 6.
Right. So this is me betting on the sweeper, where I want to get my 6 damage and use the guys, but because I have the rescue, leaving the Lioness back is okay.
Right.
And the Lioness is obviously the most useful unit later.
Right, because it just gives you that opportunity. You've got essentially the ability to kill a non-read armored snake again just in your hand.
So now I feel kind of silly Because he plays Law of Sight, so 2 cards in my hand are dead.
Yep, that hurts.
Um,
That's a well-timed Law of Sight against you.
yeah, I don't think it ends up mattering just because the Law of Sight is only good if he has damage things that kill my guys.
Absolutely. Like if he's got the Nature's Wrath and the Meteors, or just the Meteors, like he's in a position now where he can do something about it, but he can't play Meteor because he committed two Divine Dice.
Yeah.
I think that's probably potentially a mistake.
Well, it depends on if he has the Meteor or not.
Well,
right?
but you had 2 cards to draw. So if you're trying to dig for Meteor, if you think Meteor is your dig, you should hold at least 2 Divine Dice back.
It's just
Plays Owl.
I'm not even sure Meteor is good against me right now.
Sure.
Because those 3 guys that have already attacked are at least taking up battlefield slots.
Right.
And if you Meteor, you open that up for me.
Absolutely.
But because they've done their damage, they're not. I don't have any untaps in my deck, or things that matter for that. And obviously, like killing River Skald with a Xander in play is always dicey.
Absolutely. Gonna use Xander ability here. Probably get back a Skald.
I think so.
You don't have great Skald targets in hand right now.
I get back a Swordsman.
Yeah, that makes a lot more sense. I think. Just play Swordsman.
Just play it right away.
Windmill Slam the Swordsman.
Yep, and this is just like keep the pressure up kind of play because he can't Meteor the Swordsman.
Absolutely.
And I just don't care at all if he activates Owl now, since I have 2 cards I can't play anyway.
Right. I mean, you can easily just drop either one of your Earthquakes or one of your Angelic Rescues because both of those cards are semi-dead in this matchup.
Yeah, I mean, 100% I'm going to discard an Angelic Rescue. I have an additional copy, and I can't play it through into the law anyway.
Sure.
That's assuming he activates Owl.
Right. I mean, right now the Owl is posing just a great, like, Phoenixborn blocker.
But it's funny because it's kind of not, right?
Right.
Because jumping Swordsman is not good.
Sure. I think the Bear is interesting here.
Yeah, it's fine. It's just like he's on the ropes now.
Sure.
And Bear is always a good safe play. Because he knows that, like, with my Xander tapped and 2 Skalds in the discard, 1 Skald in play, that, like, I can't
Scald it.
Yeah. I can Earthquake it, but
yeah,
Earthquake is kind of the same thing we were talking about before, where...
Like, your Earthquake here would be really bad because you'd only kill the Bear and you'd lose 2 units off of it, so...
Right. I mean, and I don't feel real bad about, like, maybe I need those spots, but...
Okay, so he throws 2 damage from the Command Strike from the Bear.
Command Strike the guy. So now it trades with the Bear if it fights the Bear.
Yeah, I think that's just fine.
Right. His deck doesn't have a lot of things that deal with the 3/4 very well. So Command Strike, I think Command Strike there is good.
Like, the interesting thing is he doesn't have the way to pressure your defense of Xander to, like, allow the Bear to kill the Swordsman. So that Command Strike's kind of dead there. But you just commit an attack with the Swordsman anyways. That's an interesting decision. I don't know, were you worried about a close combat or something potentially? Does he have close combat in his list?
No.
Okay.
I just need to, like...
Oh, you're just going to exhaust the Bear.
Right. I attacked Owl because he either blocks with Maeoni and takes it,
3.
which is fine.
Sure.
Or I kill the Owl and I kill the Bear.
Yeah.
Well,
exhaust the Bear. Yeah. Which gives you the opportunity to kill the Bear in a lot of different ways because you can wing Lioness and then Anchornaut. Although you're going to be battlefield full on a wing line after. Well, you can still Anchornaut. You just battlefield fill at that point.
Right. I mean, I think he probably should have blocked with Maeoni there.
Yeah, I definitely think that would have been the best. I mean,
the Bear into this board is not very impactful.
So 3 dice, double nature. What do we got? Oh, okay.
Hydra.
How is that possible? Hydra requires a divine power, right?
No.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay. Man, Hydra costs a divine natural? Or power natural?
No, I don't think so. I think it's a class. I'm not sure.
Well, he had double nature, single, but you just responded with an earthquake into the Hydra.
Right.
that works.
I'm just like, I'm not messing around with this.
No, that makes sense. That's a good solid exchange. Now you can just kill Bear.
It's class basic.
Class basic, yeah, but he had double nature and he didn't have class divine, I didn't think, but maybe he did. He might have. It just may have rolled when he moved it.
Yeah. I guess I didn't pay close enough attention to that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't see any reason not to fire off the earthquake there because he's out of dice, so I don't think he's going to do anything else this turn.
Correct.
And my guys are going to recover a bunch.
And you're just making another Lioness.
And doing TTS things.
Yeah, well, that's your fault. That's all on you.
And it put one of the lions under the exhaustion counter on Xander.
Yeah.
So I make another lion, and I just have like an insane board.
Right.
To his.
And a board that's going to recover almost completely.
Yeah.
With him out of dice. So that's a really tough position to be in for Taj.
And as it turned out, so I pump the lion and attack as my last action.
That's fine. Yeah.
As it turned out, I shouldn't have spent my charm dice earlier. So here I'm using the other power.
Draw a card. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'll put one back. Just
because you don't need it right now.
And so I keep, this is funny because I was deciding between that and the rescue as the card to put back.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, I might get to rescue next turn because that law's going away. Well.
He just plays another law. Yeah. I mean, that is a thing, right? Like law, if he has both laws, he can shut down, 2 turns.
So again, I roll just insane.
That is very strong on the rolls.
Yeah, my rolls were great. I think that this is a very bad matchup for Taj. He's a real trooper playing it out. I'm just looking.
So he's open memories.
I think he actually discarded the open memories to his draw step.
Okay.
Is what happened. Because it's not very good right now.
Sure. Yeah, the only thing open memories would really bring to the table would have been a chance to replay a Hydra, and you'd still have an Earthquake, which is kind of difficult. But if he's got a Polarity Mage, he can Polarity Mage into Root Armor, and then I guess Root Armor the Hydra.
Yeah. So there's the Law of Sight that I was talking about,
right.
And I feel a little silly about keeping the
other rescue,
but
yeah.
Honestly, him spending
2 dice.
Isn't it 3 dice?
No, it's 2.
Did he underpay me?
No, it's 2 dice.
Maybe it's a lot of grace. Oh, okay.
It's 2 dice.
Yep. Okay.
Yep.
So basically nothing, but
so there he's just trying to get back on Snake Plan now after losing a whole round of it.
Yeah, there's not a. I mean, I don't think there's a lot of things he could do with me just starting with 9 power in play.
I'm just going to Earthquake the Snake.
Yep.
I think that's totally fine.
Yeah, I mean, it just. I guess that's not great if he has a Nature's Wrath.
So what I think one thing that you could have done potentially different there is offered up the Swordsman because you have the ability to recur the Swordsman. And so you can just attack with the Swordsman for free for 3, and then you just got Anchornaut in hand to burn the last point of damage off the snake before it could get Root Armored. But I guess he could Polarity Mage into Root Armor this turn. I don't know if that's what he has in hand, obviously. So
right, and that's the biggest motivator to do that there, is that he could still Root Armor it.
Sure. I think it's a fine play.
Yeah, he's... What's his total? 9? Even if he has the Nature's Wrath and he gets me for 3 guys, which would be good, I still have the...
This is a... What's he doing? Oh, a Command Strike?
No, Gilder.
Oh, Gilder the lion.
Gilder shooting the lion.
Yep, that's fine. Yep, makes sense.
Yeah, that's a good Gilder.
He's really on a really decent plan here to play Frostback Bear, Command Strike your Swordsman down. I think that's one area that I personally would be a little more worried about. It's just like, but then you can just heal. You heal one from every. Oh, it's interesting. You kept the lion. Okay.
Right. I'm choosing to play around Nature's Wrath, not around Frostback Bear Command Strike, because I believe that if he Frostback Bear Command Strikes me, I will win.
Sure.
Because he'll be down to 1 dice.
Sure.
And I'll have a million guys in play and stuff to do.
Sure. And that's very possible. I'm not
right. So, and with the Gilder in play, the lions are more powerful.
There's the Polarity Mage pulling back the root armor again.
Yeah, he might have a massive growth in there now from meditation. I don't remember, but
he's not on dice for that. He's still got to meditate. But he can meditate this round since he's just Polarity Maging, and he doesn't have anything to actually put on the root armor right now or the massive growth.
So he meditates a Hydra away.
Yeah, that's just to get the divine dice he want, and potentially the charm dice. He's probably worried about like a counter swing right now. And does he run redirect?
No.
Okay. So you're just going to Anchornaut the Polarity Mage.
Yep. I'm just waiting for him to run out of dice at this point.
Mm-hmm.
I have the like.
I think you have lethal on board if you can get past the Gilder. Because he's at 5? 7.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have lethal on board.
I still have River Skald,
Right.
only for 1 right now, but I have like Xander River Skald for a bunch.
Xander's exhausted right now.
Oh, did I Xander already this round?
I don't remember,
Yeah.
but he's definitely got an exhaustion token on him right now.
Okay, well.
So there's another Polarity Mage. Now he's going to get back the...
Right, because he just meditated massive
Meditated
growth.
and massive growth, yeah. That's an interesting sequence of events there. I mean, if he massive grows the Gilder...
Right, and at this juncture...
I don't think he wins, so...
Right, like, nothing that he massive growth, even if it attacks me, can kill me.
Right.
So I'm not real scared of the massive growth.
Just going to attack the Gilder, I'm assuming.
Yeah, it looks that way.
That seems really fine. I mean, the status token on the Polarity Mage is basically nothing.
Yeah, in his deck it is nothing. He doesn't have anything that interacts with it.
If he had an explosive growth or something, that might mean something, but not really.
Yeah.
Because like if he actually was able to like massive growth, explosive growth, mage, like it becomes a pretty big mage, but like not enough to do anything.
It doesn't become big enough to race me.
Right.
It just like blocks one of my men.
Right.
And then dies because the massive growth falls off.
Because right now you are threatening lethal between the 3 units that are open. Although he can block with the mage, so you really do have to get the mage out of the way. But that's where you can Anchornaut here.
I have an Anchornaut or a River Skald.
Yeah, and River Skald's probably better.
Right, because it leaves the 2/2 behind. Like then he has to make an additional
blocker. Right.
And he's out of dice, right? Like he can. He's not literally out of dice, but.
He's gonna ping your Skald away that hadn't attacked yet. Oh, that's an interesting decision. I think I'd. Yeah, you got to kill the Skald.
Yeah.
You got to kill the Skald, yeah. That does change the math up a little bit, but because that does allow him to still play the owl. He's got an owl still available as a blocker, so.
And I think this is that. Yep.
Yeah. So he's playing the correct lines to try to dig out of the disadvantages.
So what's going to happen here is, so I'm going to play Skald. I'm going to ding off the.
Well, and you just pull a.
I'm going to shoot the Polarity Mage because the owl doesn't have a power.
Yeah, you could have meteored the owl though with the Skald and still waited another turn and played Anchornaut to shoot the
I have
Mage.
the top of the next round.
Oh, sure. So it
like,
doesn't matter.
Like
you can just go top of next round and win that way. So yeah.
Right. Even if he has a redirect with his last charm there, like I know I got him.
Sure. And if he redirects, if you choose to resolve the attackers into the face first, then he has to redirect.
Right. So I just like attack the owl. I'm like, whatever, this is nonsense. So that plays around the redirect.
Absolutely.
By stalking the owl and then attacking my guys now.
And you actually have it through the, let's see, it's 3, 4, no, 6, you're 1 short, so.
Yeah, but again, I have the top around here, so swing in there, put him at 1. He has his 1 charm dice and no untapped books he can use, so I don't know what he's going to do.
And he couldn't play redirect because we had the law up the whole time.
Oh, that's true.
So even if he was running redirect, his own deck would have stopped him from being able to redirect.
Yeah.
So
that is true. I was not playing around redirect because I knew it wasn't in his list.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So I get the top round and I'm just like attack with guys and here's my
Looks
hand.
like he just concedes out. Yep.
Yep.
So
and he has
a million transfers and root armors
and stuff.
Massive growths, but. So this is fundamentally, like, if you have a deck that can deal with these big units, the fundamental issue with massive growth in my mind is this, right? It's too slow if your opponent can just take your big units away.
This is what I've been talking about for a long time about massive growth. Like, if, and this was kind of the opposite of what I normally think happens, where, you know, they play the massive growth, you remove their guy and you 2-for-1 them. In this case, I just, like, removed all his men, and he ended up with a bunch of dead cards in hand.
Right. Yeah, you know, they don't do any good if you can't get them put down.
Right. And so this is an example of, you know, we've talked about a couple times now in recent streams and coverage that your decks have to be able to handle, like, clogged board states.
Right.
And my deck specifically, when your deck only plays to the board, it beats you because no clogged board states happen. I just have a million River Skalds to make 2/2s and kill all your men.
So I mean, definitely I understand. One of the things that I think, just sitting here looking at, I mean, he's got the 3 charm dice. Like, I'm not sure what he's fighting with the Law of Sights in particular. Like, what is he most worried about his opponent doing to him with a reaction? Because I can't think of anything that would be really problematic for his deck. In that space.
Right. The Law of Sight is a weird thing. He has Law of Grace as well.
Right.
Both of which I think are very good cards, but you know
I just think it would be really easy to swap both of those Law of Sights out for Golden Veils, and you'd have
It would certainly be a better matchup against me.
Yeah. Well, I think it'd be a better matchup against anybody that's in hard removal plan. I mean, because he's got the root armor, so he's automatically fighting the damage dealing plan for Snake.
I mean, I think probably it's like the redirect that the Law of Sight plays around, right? Like, redirect is a big problem for the Snake decks.
Sure. But I think then you could have like a single Law of Sight and just not play it, just like hold it in your hand essentially, until the moment that your Snake's going to do lethal.
Right, and that's kind of the plan he's on. He only has 2 copies.
Sure.
It was not good in this matchup. It did turn off some of my cards, but it didn't turn them off in a way that was meaningful to the game.
Sure. Yep, I agree. Well, congratulations on your round 5 win. That's going to wrap up the Swiss.
Thanks, Taj, for playing. It was great meeting you. And
yeah, definitely. Thanks for letting us record the game.
Taj and every single opponent I played against except for you is like awesome. And
oh yeah, that's how that works.
Great to meet and interact with.
You're just still salty that I won the bus brawl this time around.
It's really that mini golf game today.
I thoroughly crushed Neil in mini golf today for everybody that's watching. But we're going to wrap this video up. Just a couple of things to point out. Number one, if you enjoyed this content, a thumbs up just tells us that you liked it, and that's enough for us to know that we're on the right path in terms of what we're putting out on YouTube for you all to watch. The best thing you can do for us, if you really love everything we're doing and you want to show support, is to hit that subscribe button. It means the world to us. It's just it really reinforces our motivation to continue to put things out like this. And then, obviously, if you have any comments on the match, be sure to drop below. I personally respond to every comment. So please let me know. What did you think of the match? What do you think are some things that either Neil or Taj could have done different? We love to hear thoughts on that. And, you know, you got comments on the snakes. We're seeing snakes all over tournament play right now. So let's hear your thoughts on the snake. Otherwise, we'll be back very soon with top 8 matchups, as well as top 4 and finals when we get to those points. So we hope you all enjoy the additional coverage. Season 2 is starting very soon, so be sure to be on the lookout for the Season 2 stuff.
It's like maybe started before you watch this video.
Yeah, by the time this video goes out, it's a good chance that Season 2 will have been started. So please be sure to check out the channel to watch Season 2, because that's when time's going to make its splash into the meta. And we will see you all in the next video. Thank you, everybody.